This may surprise you. I really don't want to get bit by something this size. And this is where it gets fun. All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about a good animal choice versus a bad animal choice. This is an unboxing as well, so I got a couple awesome things to show you, and I just want to compare the difference between what I consider a good choice for a first pet reptile, not even a first, but just a pet reptile in general, or a bad pet reptile in general. This here, everyone's favorite, this is a ball python. This is a pied ball python. They actually look like there may be another morph going on here. You guys would have to correct me in the comments. I'm not the best with morphs, unfortunately. But a ball python do make great beginner pets. They can be a little finicky when it comes to eating because males and females go through brumation in the wild. And brumation is just like how a bear hibernates. For a good portion of the year, these guys will go underground, pretty much slow their metabolism down on their own control, which they can do that, which is an awesome evolutionary advantage. So they can completely control their digestive system easily as an adult, 6-7 months without eating. And it's very common in the hobby for that to happen. Their whole goal of their life at this moment, once males come out of brumation, is to find a female. So they can even go longer than a female without eating, but they do make great pets. If you have one and it doesn't eat, don't be worried. It's very normal. As long as you have the proper setup and the right conditions, you'll have an awesome, awesome pet snake, just like this pied ball python. Now, we don't see these often in the hobby at all, let alone having it for sale, which means this is super cool. These are baby white-lipped tree frogs. Oop, wow. He had to go. So white-lipped tree frogs, these guys are extremely unique in the hobby, very rare. These guys will get 4 to 5 inch bodies, which is absolutely huge for a tree frog. And they have these stunning white belly and white chin and white chest with white undertones under their legs, which makes them very, individualized. They're just so hard to get your hands on, but they do make such awesome pets for a tree frog. Once again, a 5-inch frog, that's awesome. It's pretty large. They can live communally too if you have a large, good setup. These guys make a great pet for anyone trying to get in the hobby or who's been in it for quite a while, who's an amphibian nut like I am. So we're gonna put this little guy away, on to the next one. My legs. So here we have a keeled lizard, guys. And on my good and bad scale, these are actually a very intermediate choice. So that means a newbie can definitely jump in and go straight for one of these guys if you have the proper research and knowledge at your hands. So these guys, a little quick, these are a mini monitor is how I call them. So that's what makes them such a great choice, because if you may not be ready to handle a 12-foot enclosure for a monitor and all these insane requirements that they need, this is an adult. This is about 18 inches here, and these guys are semi-arboreal, so they love to climb all day. They're whipping around the enclosure. They attack prey just like a monitor would, but they stay small. I've handled quite a few lizards. I understand their body reactions, their language that they're telling me. If you just hold one of these guys, they're not gonna act the same way. They're very fast, they're very flighty, and they're pretty bitey too. Ow! Something that's gonna be this awesome, this active, this predatory, that's only gonna get 18 inches is absolutely an awesome choice for anyone to own the hobby. Not just that, these guys are absolutely stunning. I mean, this color is immaculate. They also have a bright red tongue and a bright red mouth that they aren't afraid to show off and use and try to warn other predators like, hey, leave me alone because I will bite you. Ah! They will bite you. It does hurt. It will go through your skin. So we got our intermediate. Now we're about to head into the territory of bad reptiles. And this is where it gets fun. Now we're moving on to some big dogs. These here are the Cuvier's dwarf caiman. Just because they're the smallest does not mean they make good pets. Caimans, any crocodilian, probably are the worst pet you can have. So please do tons and tons of research before you get one of these animals. They may say dwarf, males can get up to 5 feet long. That is not small by any means. It's dwarf compared to a 20-foot crocodile. Yes, there's your dwarf. A 5-foot caiman is still going to require a 12 to 16-foot enclosure primarily water. These guys are the most terrestrial of any crocodilian in the world. These guys dig. They love to dig. They love to make burrows. Coming from South America, the Amazon jungle, the Amazon River, where these guys call their home, they'll make burrows that are 8 feet deep. That's where they're gonna stay during the dry season especially. So please, if you get one of these guys, be responsible. They get massive. They need a massive requirements. I really don't want to get bit by something this size. It will hurt really bad. Monitors, guys, they're a different story for a reptile. People don't understand or underestimate what these bites can do. I've seen it firsthand. I've experienced some big bites, and I've seen others get bit by lizards much, much larger than this. But this is an Asian water monitor. They seem to be available everywhere, and you know what? Quite frankly, they shouldn't be. You shouldn't be able to own these lizards. These guys can get, if you have a male, which this is another sexually dimorphic lizard, males from an Asian water monitor can get up to 8 feet long. That's absolutely ridiculous. They can be the second heaviest lizard in the world, only behind a Komodo dragon. I mean, these guys get absolutely massive. Their teeth are razor blades. I mean, they're awesome. I understand why everyone loves them. I love them. If you want one, truly do a lot of research. They can be the best pet in the world if you have the resources to provide for them and the time to tame them and the knowledge to know how to tame them. So please, if you get a water monitor, do research on them. Know what you're getting into, not for your own sake, but for the animal's sake. It is super important that we give these guys the best life they can have in captivity.